Ashwagandha, also known as Indian ginseng for its adaptogenic qualities, is perhaps one of the more popular tonic herbs on the market. It is well known throughout Ayurvedic medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, for its adaptogenic qualities, particularly its benefits on the thyroid, the adrenal glands, and essentially the entire endocrine system. Now, its name, ashwagandha, actually translates to strength of the stallion because of its immunomodulating benefits and really its ability to help build resilience in the immune system, and was traditionally used to help people overcome low immunity, diseases, cold, flus, and other sort of general issues of low Jing or low immunity. So it's a really great herb for warding off disease, balancing any sort of bacterial infection, preventing any sort of pathogen from overtaking the body, and essentially regulating the endocrine system, which is going to have tonifying effects on our hormonal system, on our stress response, and our immune system or immune function. Now, in this video, I want to talk to you about a few of the specific benefits of ashwagandha and how you could use it to help improve your greater health. One of the first and perhaps the most popular benefits on why people take ashwagandha in the modern world is its tonifying effects on the thyroid. Ashwagandha is really great at inhibiting or reducing lipid preoxidation, which is basically oxidative stress that damages our thyroid gland on a cellular level. So it has these sort of protective antioxidant properties for the thyroid gland particularly. Another great benefit of ashwagandha is its tonifying effects on the adrenal glands. So studies have shown that its adaptogenic qualities can help actually decrease excess cortisol in the blood and help regulate the adrenal glands' production of stress hormones, cortisol and adrenaline, and bring those back into normal ranges, as a positive effect on insulin regulation. So it balances our blood sugar, which when our blood sugar is really out of whack, if we're producing too much insulin, then it can really damage our adrenal glands and make them fatigued. And it essentially helps regulate overall adrenal function, again bringing adrenal function back into an optimal range, so that way we're not producing excess cortisol and adrenaline, but we're also not producing too little of it, which would cause inflammation in the body, low energy, and essentially would make us very sort of fearful, anxious people that weren't very resilient in the face of stress. So when we have very strong adrenals, we can confront stressful situations head on and produce the necessary amount of adrenal hormones, so that way we are not fearful or cowardly in the face of stress. Something else about ashwagandha is it's actually a tonic to the brain. It can improve overall brain health because of its tonifying effects on the central nervous system. So by, again, regulating our stress response, by basically tonifying and strengthening the adrenal and thyroid, we're going to prevent any sort of oxidative damage or stress done to the brain, because essentially stress, enough physical, mental, emotional, chemical stress, whatever sort of stress, could basically break down the DNA, the cells, the cell membranes in our brain, and actually lead to degenerative neurological disorders. So by regulating our stress response, balancing the central nervous system, we're going to do a great deal in preventing any damage done to the brain. Also, ashwagandha, of course, like most tonic herbs, is very rich in antioxidants and is a protectant to the brain and essentially the entire body. Specifically helps prevent oxidative damage in the brain in these two ways. Another really great benefit of ashwagandha is its positive effects on our mood. So the way it does this is essentially by promoting the health of the adrenals and thyroid, which have strong influence over how we feel on an emotional basis. So if our adrenal glands are pumping out too much stress hormone, too much cortisol, it's likely we're going to feel very anxious. However, if we're not producing enough thyroid hormone and enough cortisol and adrenaline, then it's likely we could feel depressed, very fatigued, lethargic, have a very sort of low energy, and this could really affect our mood, of course. So the way that it helps enhance and improve our mood is by tonifying the endocrine system and helping our bodies uptake natural levels of endorphins, by preventing the excess or accumulation of cortisol, which really inhibits the uptake of feel-good neurotransmitters, which I've said in many videos throughout here. Most adaptogenic herbs have this quality, and ashwagandha is one of the premium adaptogenic herbs, and definitely it's been reported throughout many studies I've read personally with people that the consumption on a regular basis of ashwagandha will definitely improve your energy, your vitality, and of course that will translate into a better mood. last but not least, an interesting study I came across shown and demonstrated the sort of energizing, the increased stamina and physical performance benefits of ashwagandha. In a study, they fed lab mice an extract of ashwagandha and found that those who consumed ashwagandha could swim twice as long as the mice who didn't consume it. And this likely has a lot to do with, again, its tonifying effects, its nourishing effects on our endocrine system, and also has slight ATP benefits, very similar to cordyceps in the production of ATP, which is cellular energy. We'll uptake more oxygen, and this again has a lot to do with this ability to nourish our endocrine system so our bodies can produce more feel-good neurotransmitters. It can produce healthy levels of thyroid hormone, adrenaline, cortisol in the right amount, so that way we're energized naturally. Quick final tip on the consumption of ashwagandha: as with most herbs, make sure it's high quality, organic. I love to consume concentrated extracts. That way I'm getting the most of the standardized medicinal active constituents in the herb. So that way you're not dealing with, whole herbs are really great, but you're not basically extracting the most potent active constituents in it. So definitely always consume, if you can, either a liquid, powder, or tinctured extract of ashwagandha. And the ideal recommended dose for these benefits, these adaptogenic benefits, will probably be around 1,000 milligrams a day. I like to split it up into 2 doses, 500 milligrams in the morning, 500 milligrams in the evening. But you could also experiment with megadosing before or after work, or a workout or physical activity. If you're interested in trying some ashwagandha out for yourself, then you can check out the link below.